How to handle stakeholder pushback on your product roadmap. Hey everyone, I'm Debanjan Mazumdar. If you are a new product manager or aiming to start your career in product management, I create content for people exactly like you. So let's get back to the question: how to handle stakeholder pushback on your product roadmap. In the previous videos, I talked about what is a product roadmap, how to create a product roadmap in 6 simple steps, and how to align your company's OKRs with your product roadmap. But then there is something which is considered a rite of passage for all product managers. You face pushback from various stakeholders. So, how to handle that? I will tell you 3 simple strategies. But before I get into those strategies, let me tell you the greatest friend you can have as a product manager. Can you make a guess? Yes, you guessed it right. It is data. Data is something which should decide on whatever we are doing. There is nothing which we should do without data to back it up. So, assuming that you have all the necessary data, let's see the 3 strategies. The first one, which you will often hear while in stakeholder meetings and discussing your product roadmap. You hear, I don't see my item on your roadmap. The thing which I wanted, I don't see it anywhere. So, how to handle this? So, in this case, what you need to do is to always talk about aligning the goals with your product roadmap, strategies, and items, right? So you have to be tactful in your communication and convey the message that yes, your feature request was very interesting, but at this point of time, the company's OKRs do not align with this particular item on the roadmap. If you want to understand about OKRs, I will link that video in the description. But let me explain this with an example. Say one of the stakeholders has a request to revamp your dashboard. Very interesting thing. It will probably do a lot of good and it would really change the way the customer sees your product. But your company's OKR at this point of time is to improve retention, to reduce the churn, to increase the NRR by 10%. So, for that, you need to improve the onboarding. So, you have to convey this message. Again, like I said, it is the data which should speak for it. Strategy number 2. You will often hear, why is my item request featured so low? Why is it not in now or next? Why is it in later? And here is where your prioritization comes into play. You have to convey, again, tactfully to your stakeholders that based on the data and the research that was done, the prioritization has been decided upon. Just to give an example, say in this case, you decided on changing the self-serve onboarding, you decided on adding a self-serve onboarding, let's assume that. So The stakeholder might have requested for tooltips while a customer goes on onboarding, and you featured the tooltip feature request quite low on the priority list. So you have to convey to them that based on the research which was done, the reach and impact is much higher for having a self-serve onboarding instead of adding tooltips at this moment. That's why this tooltip request is something which we will tackle probably in the next quarter. For now, this is what our focus lies on. Strategy number 3, you have to always keep your stakeholders in confidence. At the end of the day, you all are aligned in your interests. Your interests are to provide value to the end user, to your customer. So while your priorities might differ, your opinions might differ, but it is always for the good of the product. So you can always tell them that this feature request, which is very interesting, I will probably put it in the later bucket, and we will see with the teams and the executives and the leadership and all the other stakeholders how this can be put into task list in the backlog and can be handled. That way, your stakeholders know that you hear them. They know that their request is not straight away denied, that they have someone who has considered their request. So, based on this, you will always have them in confidence. These 3 strategies are really important, have always helped me. Let me know in the comments what other things you think would be interesting to tell your stakeholders when you are feeling a pushback on your product roadmap items. If you like this video, please put that in the comments what you liked. If you dislike something or if you want me to handle something else, please let me know that as well in the comments. Like I say always, we are product managers and every feedback is welcome. You are my customers and your feedback helps me grow and create more value for you. And that is my aim. Thank you and see you in the next video.